What's up, it's cinemashogun here, and now that the toxicology report has come in for the three Kansas City Chiefs fans found frozen to death in their friend's backyard, we now know that they had stuff in their system. So now it's time to move on to the next part of the investigation. We already finished this part of the story, so now the focus is, was Jordan involved? What type of involvement in this situation did Jordan have? Now, if you ask me personally, I think Jordan admitting himself into rehab is also basically an admission that he had something to do with this entire situation. Now, before you get your panties up in a bunch, let me explain. So far, Jordan has been trying to play this innocent role. This innocent role of not knowing what his friends did that night. This innocent role of not knowing if his friends were on this or on that. Jordan has tried to separate himself from the situation. Oh, I was asleep. Oh, I saw them out the door. You know, he's basically tried to separate himself from the situation like he is this innocent, unknowing party in all of this. Now, of course, these three Kansas City Chiefs fans, they could have brought their own stuff and they could have did it without Jordan, right? That's a possibility. They could have brought their own stuff and they could have partaken in these party favors without Jordan. Big possibility. But when you look at the fact that Jordan checked himself into rehab, I think that kind of tells us that Jordan has some involvement here. That Jordan most likely was partaking in party favors that night as well. Jordan may have even done the same party favors as these guys, which is why he gets the scare and automatically checks himself into rehab. So I want to be clear here. Jordan checking himself into rehab, that doesn't tell me that he murdered these guys in cold blood. It doesn't tell me that he killed these guys purposely. But it does tell me that he was somewhat involved in what people were partaking in that night. Because if Jordan was totally sober that night, if Jordan has nothing to do with the substances that his friends were doing, then he has no need to check himself into rehab. I'm not going to check myself into rehab for no reason. Hell, even if I do stuff on my own and I know my friends do more hardcore stuff and something happens to my friends, I'm not going to check into rehab just because I drink, maybe smoke a little pot, and y'all are out here doing lines and popping this and popping that. You know what I mean? So Jordan checking into rehab, admitting that he has a problem, I think that's basically him admitting that, yeah, he partook in whatever was going on that night. So this little innocent role that he's been playing, that's out of the window. Did he kill these guys? I don't think so. Did he murder these guys? I don't think so. Did he possibly tamper with this stuff, mix it up and do stuff like that? A lot of people that know Jordan seem to believe that he does stuff like that. But for right now, I want to roll this news clip because the parents and the families, they're speaking out for the first time since these toxicology results came in. And they got a lot of interesting stuff to say. So let's go ahead and see what they have to say. I need you all to hit the thumbs up. It's totally free. It takes 1 second. Hit that thumbs up button. Drop a comment. Subscribe. Ring the notification bell. I'm going to roll this news clip. And then I'll be right back again with even more thoughts.
3 Kansas City men found dead in their friend's backyard. We now understand from the reporting that there was cocaine and fentanyl in their system, okay? Fentanyl, probably the deadliest drug in our midst, all right? It's been 24 hours since that reporting came out. But still, why were they outside when they were taking it? What about the friend who survived? How did they get fentanyl in their system? The police say this is 100% not a homicide investigation. That means that they don't believe that someone negligently, recklessly, or intentionally caused this killing, this death. Let's bring in the first family members to speak out since the report, okay? The father and stepmother of victim David Harrington. Now, you may take exception to that and say he's not a victim, he did this, I think it's an open question. Teresa and John Harrington, thank you both for joining us. I'm very sorry for your family's loss. But Teresa, how does this information, what does it mean to you about what matters here?
What matters is that he didn't take that to die. Something happened between either that was given to him. It just means that there's more to the story. There's more to it than just that. He didn't take the drugs to get dead. If he took the drugs on his own, he took them to get high. So
Right.
I think there's more to the story.
John, do you believe that these were drugs that the fellas brought with them that night, or do you believe they got them there that night?
I really don't know, but my thinking is that they got them there.
And why does that change the analysis for you?
Because somebody gave them something that would kill them.
Right. And then the problem with this situation is, well, then why is Jordan Willis alive? Although maybe it explains why he was asleep for 2 days. And why did someone else escape with their life, but not these three gentlemen? And how did they wind up, your son and two others, outside when this was happening? Teresa, where does your mind take you on those questions?
David wasn't a drug addict or anything like that. Peer pressure, Jordan Willis is in rehab. He could have, I don't know, the peer pressure of taking, hey, I'm going to take this. You guys want some? And they went outside because they were warm or something like that. And, he stayed inside. They went outside and they, passed out outside, maybe.
I mean, it's very
But
consistent with fentanyl, right? I mean, what fentanyl does
Right.
is it slows down your breathing so much that you can very easily pass out and be unaware
Right.
of the cold.
Right, exactly. And then some of those drugs warm your body up, and you don't feel cold as quickly, and you can succumb to hypothermia pretty quick.
What does it
So-
mean to you that the police are saying, Ms. Harrington, that this is not a homicide investigation? They are not looking at this as this being someone's fault criminally.
We keep getting answers that they're still investigating. So there's something there that they're saying maybe that's not right as well, but they don't have enough to charge or, interrogate someone a little deeper.
Right.
Um,
And
Yeah.
John, lastly, it's not a criticism, it's an observation. If your son and these other men got these drugs, there could be more of these drugs. They could be in other people's hands that they aren't aware also. And John, does that give you some cause for concern that the authorities should be more vocal to the community to be careful? It's not like fentanyl isn't a problem in the community.
Absolutely does.
where innocent people can die.
Right? Teresa, I mean, that's the concern. I mean, people need to be aware. No one and nowhere is
Right.
safe from fentanyl as a drug unlike any we've ever seen. And I hope that
Exactly.
this situation winds up being a cautionary tale for people to be careful. Your son's life matters, and hopefully it will have meaning even in this situation.
So from what the parents say, investigators think there might be something there. There might be something there. Or there may have been something there, but because y'all took so long to actually look into this case, because you dropped the ball from day one, you're not going to be able to prove what's there and what's not there. Because like I said in a previous video, if Jordan is to be charged for the deaths of these three men, or anyone for that matter, you're going to want to build a solid case. Now, law enforcement and investigators, they had a chance to investigate. They had a chance to go through Jordan's home and Jordan's yard and what have you to collect evidence. We know they left evidence behind, which makes me think that they probably didn't really collect anything. So what's happening right now is law enforcement, they're backtracking, going over whatever little evidence they may have, maybe going through some of the photos they took and what have you. And they're trying to basically, they're playing catch up with an investigation. It's like when you're late on a project at school. You know, we all were in school once. You get a science fair project. You tell your mom like the last day, hey, the science fair project's due tomorrow. And then you got to rush to like Walmart or Walgreens or somewhere and get some little dinosaurs and glue them in a little shadow box or something like that. That's what's happening here, except on a whole nother level. We have a police force that I felt like thought that this case was going to blow away and they would never have to worry about it. And then this story gets national attention. So now these people are jogging backwards, going back 3 weeks, trying to comb over stuff that they should have already went through. And I don't know if they'll ever be able to build a solid case because it doesn't seem like they did a thorough investigation of the scene. I don't want to say a crime scene, but hey, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, the parents believe that their loved ones, their kids, got this stuff from Jordan. The cousin believes that Jordan's a chemist that's been whipping up stuff since high school. Apparently, other sources in the area say the same. So, in this story, what I want everyone to understand, as far as I go, and as far as I know a lot of the people in my comments, we're not accusing Jordan of murdering these people. And we're not just baselessly throwing, stuff. We're not just throwing wet noodles at the wall to see what sticks here. That's not what we're doing. We're working with the information that we've been provided with. And the information that has been provided all points towards Jordan, having something to do with manufacturing and selling stuff of his own. It's not like I or anyone else just pulled this random imagination out of our head. No. Sources keep saying that Jordan's been doing this stuff. Jordan has now checked himself into rehab. Jordan definitely has ties to substances, regardless if he's making them or he's using them or what's going on. So to try to act as if Jordan is this totally innocent, unaware party in this whole situation, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, if you're feeling generous, you can donate to the channel via Cash App. Shout out to all of the people who have been donating. It helps the channel a lot. While you're down there, you can also help the channel for free by liking the video, subscribing, ringing the notification bell, and all of that good stuff. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.